All right, that did it.
Okay, there we go. And we can, if you just want to be done by 8:30, that's fine as well. I think I just messed up again. That's
Okay.
fine as well.
All righty. So I've watched a lot of trainings, and a lot of leaders start off talking about their story. And I'll give you a little insight into mine just because I think it kind of goes along with the topic that we chose for tonight. When I joined because I wanted the starter kit. I had never tried Sensi. I never really even heard of it. So I just wanted the kit. When I received the kit, I loved it. I loved the scent. I loved the warmer. I loved everything about it. And I started sharing it right away. When I got to sharing it, I started getting some sales. And that was like super exciting for me because that's not what my goal was, but I was really happy about it. And I actually recruited pretty quickly too. So I wasn't trained by my upline really. My upline fell off. I rolled up to my director. So I didn't get to hit my shooting star. I didn't get to hit my 30, my sensational start or anything like that, which is part of why I am the way I am with trainings and everything. I want to make sure everybody knows everything's out there. But anyway, I really started digging into trainings, digging into direct sales trainings, digging into Sensi trainings. And it kind of brought me to the conclusion that we're in a relationship business. We have to build those relationships. We we need to, retain our customers once we get them. Do you want to have the customer just have that one purchase, or do you want to retain them for the long period? Do you want to have somebody join your team and fall off right away, or do you want them for the long run? So the way I see it is, if you're like me, you want them for the long term. And if you build those relationships and you stay consistent in those relationships, you'll retain them. You That brings us to the consistency importance of that. You When you retain them, when you build that community, when you build those relationships, they don't want to leave your team. They don't want to leave you as you being their representative and everything. They want to keep coming back. They want to come back to you because you've built that relationship. So people buy from people that they like and trust. You build that consistency, you build that relationship so that they trust you. And let's see, I'm looking at my notes again. I believe if you are consistent and apply yourself, you will succeed, because that's what I did. I didn't have a huge outpouring of, people I knew since high school. I moved around too much for that. I had, my mother and my mother-in-law were my best customers. And, I kind of reached out on Facebook, and I made sure that I retained those people that I actually built the relationships with. And they're still my customers. Going on 6 years later, they're still my customers because I talked to them and I built that relationship. I hosted parties for them, but I actually cared about them too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big thing for me. You look at what builds those relationships and how you can do that, and what consistency you can do to build those relationships. And it's all the little things. When you really care, when you really ask them, how are you doing? And you actually, you're not just delivering the order, you're saying, hey, how are you doing? You know, you build that trust. The things that you can do, they're consistent. You follow up, whether you do the 222 or whatever works for you, whatever works for your customers. Consistently follow up, consistently ask them, what do they think about their order? What do they think about the new products? As I've started to share the new scents, I ask them, what do you think of the new scents? What do you think of the new catalog? What do you think of this new warmer? I love it. Do you love it? Those are the kind of things that you consistently do, because next catalog season, if you do it again and then you skip one, trust me, they will notice. They will notice you did not reach out to them, and they'll wonder why. They will wonder why. If you thank them for their orders and you skip one, especially if it's a small order, they're going to know that you did not send them a send circle and thank you. And they're going to be like, well, I guess my order wasn't big enough for that. But if you consistently do that, they're not going to see that it's a numbers thing for you. They're going to see that you actually care about them. You actually appreciate them. So on the aspect of teammates, following up, how was your month? What is working for you? What can I do for you? You know, I have not a huge personal relationship with all of my 60 some teamies. I can't do that. But, you know, I reach out to them. Last night I mentioned messaged one randomly because I noticed that she was super close to hitting lead. And I'm like, I just noticed this. It's not necessarily paid at title for her, but I noticed it and I'm like, you are so close to hitting lead. I don't want you to miss out on getting paid on your downline. And you know what? It didn't matter for my numbers. I already hit my goals, but I wanted
Right.
her to get paid on them. And I also
Mhm.
wanted her to see that I'm looking and I'm paying attention and I care. So
Right.
no, I don't message her all the time. So that's not consistent, but I'm consistently reaching out to them to let them know that I'm here, I care. And if they need anything, reach out. Um, Finding out what your teammates' goals are, if you have teammates. Um, if you consistently reach out, make sure you know their goals, make sure you know when their goals change. Say they got a job, say they lost a job. Their goals might change for Sensi. I know mine have over the years. So you want to know that and you want to learn about them. Sorry. Um, Authenticity engages. So when you authentically care about them, and that's one of Sensi standards, authenticity. When you are authentic, they know it. And when you're fake, they know it. So you want to make sure that you breed that. You breed authenticity. You show them that you care. You show them that it's not just about you, that it's about their order or it's about how they're doing. That way they come to you. You don't have to reach out. Hey, I'm putting in an order. Do you need anything? Hey, I got a new catalog. Do you want one? You're already talking to them. You've already built that relationship. You're already talking to them. So they are not scared to reach out to you. And they're already seeing you post it. And you're not just contacting them for a 6-pack order. You're not posting, hey, I got this challenge. Can you order? You know, it's more than that. And you want it to be more than that. So anyway, no matter what you are working on, whether it's building relationships for team or customers, you need to find consistency in what works. So if you are not the type of person to be able to send out thank you cards, you
Right.
know, I send out thank you packs and I try to be consistent in that. But maybe that's not something you can do. You find what you can do. If it's a text message, be consistent with that. You know, don't push yourself to send out something you can't afford. I don't I don't encourage my team to do that because I mean then you're in the hole and you get sour about your your Sensi business. You
Mhm.
want to do something that you can afford, that you're comfortable with. Don't push yourself. But whatever that is that works for you and that you're comfortable with, stick to it. Um, so how to stay consistent. And this is actually something there's a certain step in here that I fight with all the time, but it's something that I work on, and that's scheduling time. I have 3 kids at my house. I have animals. I have another job, but I set apart that time. But anyway, first, come up with a clear vision. This is your why. This is why you work your business. This is your personal goals. Whether it changes over time, keep that in front of you because you're going to need it. You're going to need it when you get discouraged. You're going to need it when you have something that you're working on that you need to push yourself to.
Mm.
Come up with that why. Put up a goal board. I've encouraged my team many times to do this. A goal board showing yourself at Disneyland, showing your kids at Disneyland, showing your new house or your new pool in the backyard, whatever it is, make that goal. And this is your why. This is your ultimate, this is what I want to do. And then break it down monthly. But anyway, that's another training. Choose your focus. Only try one thing at a time. Okay, if you're going to focus on sending thank you cards out consistently, or if you're going to focus on, I don't know, having $500 in sales and contacting your customers for that constantly, or for your team, whatever your goal is, focus on one thing until that becomes a good habit and is consistent for you. If you say you want to set different habits and you try to do 2, 3 things at a time, you're going to set yourself up for failure and you're
Mhm.
going to get discouraged. And that's not what you want. You want to aim low, not really aim low, but aim to something you can do and build. Set that foundation. Um, if you, it's like quitting smoking. You don't want to quit smoking and try to lose weight at the same time. I know when I quit smoking years ago, there was no way that was going to happen. So, I mean, you want to make sure you focus on that one thing until it's a habit. Like my goal last month, I was working on contacting different teamies I hadn't contacted in a while. I'm like, wow, like I can't focus on this and do 10 other things at a time. That took a lot of time. So make sure you just focus on what you can do and then build. No one can do all the things. This is something I've worked on also last month with my teamies, as I've had a couple other teamies do meetings. Some of my leaders did meetings for me, and it was awesome. I could focus more time on other things for the team instead of those meetings because I do them weekly. So no one can do all the things. Don't try to. Okay, and this is the one I focus that I struggle with. Set time aside for what you need to do. Okay, if this is your business and not your hobby, you need to have business hours. I don't really have business hours, but I know what times I'm working. I know what times I have to allot to working. If you don't schedule work and make it a priority, it will slip through the cracks. You won't stay consistent and you will get discouraged. There's only so many times that I feel like anybody can fail before they're like, you know what, forget it, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I've been trying to lose weight and I'm serious. I've tried keto and I've been doing it. I did really well and then it stopped. So now I keep eating whatever my daughter decides to bake. There's only so many times you can fail before you're like, you know what, cake is really good, man. So just try to push through. Try to focus on your time blocks that you can work. I don't care if it's 30 minutes, an hour, 20 minutes here, 5 times a day. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need to get your time done, whatever time you need to get your goals done, focus on it, break it down, don't get overwhelmed. And when the kids hop in the room, tell them, hey, give me 10 minutes if you can, if they're little, like the little guy with his dinosaur. You know, you just say, okay, you know what, when you take your nap, I'll go do what I can do. I have a teenager, so I can push off the little ones now, but I totally get it. Okay, do it anyway. So I do meetings weekly with my team. There have been many times where I would have just rather, you know what, it's, you know, and been a rough day. I would rather have a drink tonight and not get on a Zoom meeting, not look presentable. You know, I'm just going to push it off. And I haven't. There's been one time since we've been doing regular meetings, which I think we've been doing them for almost a year now, that I canceled. And the only reason I canceled that was because I had a migraine for like 3 days and there was no way I could deal with computer light or any other light in my face. So I actually went on ahead and canceled that one. Push through if you can. You know, we all have bad days. We all just, you know, have those days we want to just shove it off, not do our deliveries, not contact our customers and tell them their orders in, not push for those sales, whatever it is, you gotta focus and do it anyway. Shove that down. We have those voices in our head, you know, just kind of push it down and say, you know what, my goal board has a picture of Disney on it, and that is where I'm going at such and such a date. So you know what, I'm doing my team meeting, I am doing my training today, I'm doing my orders, push through and do it. It's hard. Trust me, I know, because I've had those days and I've gotten on those meetings and I know I've looked bad, and I'll be honest and authentic with my team. You know what? It's been a rough day, but I'm here for you, you know, and that authenticity, even as a leader, they see it and they appreciate it as far as I'm concerned. And the last thing I have on my list is to forgive yourself. If you fail at something, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not staying consistent. Don't beat yourself up for it. forgive yourself for the 15 no's you got today, or the customer that you really thought you were building this relationship with, and she met a new consultant, or her sister signed up on somebody else's team. And you know what? Just forgive yourself. It's not always your fault. And if it is, move on and learn from it. I mean, there's so many fallbacks you can hit. So many fallbacks. I mean, going on 6 years now, there's been some fallbacks, and there's been some numbers that I look at now and I'm like, what was I doing that month? But you know what? Let it go and learn from it. And again, if you focus on the relationships and you focus on being consistent on your goals and what your desires are and what your why is, I really think you'll succeed. Because if I could succeed with my mother-in-law's, yeah, you can too. So any questions? I think everybody's muted. Everybody's still muted. Jen is unmuted.
I'm unmuted. I don't know if I really have any questions though. I mean, right now I feel like tomorrow. So my launch party ends tomorrow. I literally my mom just called to tell me that somebody commented on my page, and another one of her friends that she added has just placed an order and stuff like that. So I
Awesome.
mean, as far as current questions, I don't think I have any right now.
Well, I hope it helped.
Yeah, this definitely helped. This was definitely, I like this. And I was very hesitant to hop on because I actually have had a migraine all day. And I was gonna send a message in the group prior to hopping on and be like, if my lights are off, I'm sorry, I'm here, I'm listening. But now I'm gonna get in the shower and go to sleep after this for sure because my head's killing.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm glad you hopped on.
Yeah, I am too. I really am. I definitely didn't want to miss it because I didn't know what was, gonna happen, what was gonna be said, or, whatever. So any information at this point is helpful. So
yeah,
for sure.
Yep. All the trainings. I mean, even now I'm constantly watching new trainings, constantly hopping on whatever trainings are available on the weekly ones for on the workstation and everything. And I hop on Zoom and I just start searching. So
yeah.
Not Zoom, sorry, YouTube.
Yeah.
I clean and watch YouTube trainings.
Yeah.
I put them on and I just clean and listen.
Yeah.
Because you always hear something. Well, it's a lot of repetition, but sometimes it's the delivery of the repetition.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'll hear something and it'll just click and you'll be like,
yep.
oh, I get it now.
You can hear something so many times and then somebody just says it the right way and you're like, wow. So if I'm consistent going to the gym, it takes a while to see the results. Mm-hmm. Now it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ways of saying stuff and everything. It's like,
right.
It takes a while to settle in. It really does.
The one thing that you said was forgive yourself. And like I had for me it was give yourself grace.
Yes.
And I felt like so my father had gotten sick really quickly and really quick. Like on Monday we were told we had a year and he died by Friday, like that.
Oh man.
Quick.
Man.
And yeah, and I'm so grateful for my business, but I was also trying to give myself grace by letting the ladies know, like, I just need just like today for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the leader who's like, I think I'm the leader who's there every day. Okay. I'm the leader here. I try to be, I
We
check in
try.
with them. Yeah, every morning and see how they're doing and some people respond and some people don't. Um and I felt and it sounds crazy because I felt like selfish almost that I was like, hey guys, I need this day. And to let them know I wasn't okay, which sounds so weird. But
I can totally relate. You feel like you should be there, but you can't be, and you need that break, and especially in a situation like that.
yeah. And the one and Morgan had said to me, she had said you have to give yourself grace, and I was like, it just clicks. And when you were saying you have to forgive yourself, sometimes it's just about giving yourself some grace.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Sin.
What?
Oh, doggy.
See the doggy?
Doggy. There you go.
Sorry, I have like so much distractions. I'm just like zoning in and out. I really am. I'm zoning. But we all understand when you need your days. We all understand. We still love you. We still there for you, but we know when you need your days. It's okay. We all need them.
We do.
We do, for sure.
I
I had a lot out of everything. And the one thing I know is if someone desires to have a reasonable, we'll say reasonable business,
Mhm.
just reasonable. No, you don't have to desire a leadership role or anything like that, but consistency.
Yeah.
That's You can set everything else aside. If you're consistent in what you do, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Find what works and stay consistent with it. Because what
Yep.
works for you, what might not work for me, and what works for me may not work for somebody else. You got to find what works for you.
Who else
Like,
says that?
no matter how much consistent I really am with posting now, it's like I'm always a hit or miss with anything. Like, I'm still stuck at 0, even though we just had lunch today. I'm still stuck at 0. But my mom has a party. Nobody's ordering from it yet. I post on my group, but yet nobody orders anything. My one friend said last month, after she put her order in, that she wanted me to cancel it so she could order on the 1st. She hasn't put her order in yet, so I'm just sitting here waiting. But
Contact your
it's like,
people, contact your customers,
Mommy.
get those scent stickers and tell them you have these scent stickers. You'd love to send them so that they can try them out, and share
I
that
just
with
wish I
them.
had sent stickers.
You can still order
I
them.
don't really got much of anything, girl.
Most of them are in stock now.
I don't even have anything to do samples with yet. I gotta get with my dad to help me get some stuff in.
Yeah.
Or wait till Sunday payday and use whatever I got on my pay to get some stuff, but I try.
Guys, look,
Stop,
or Cindy, are you by yourself? Except, are you by yourself?
Lucas. Lucas, stop. Honey, you don't need to get on this big ball right now.
Okay.
Don't throw it at me.
She does a lot. Cindy does a lot. She does a lot on her end. Little support, very little.
Nope. Yeah. Well, you do what you can. And if you can't make samples and you can't, do all that right now, then you do what you can. You don't want to go on the whole.
Right, like the
Yeah.
only thing I know I can do at this point is try posting as much as possible, try to get people interacting, but it's just barely anything.
Yeah.
but I do try.
He does.
I've been trying for like almost a year now, just trying to get into like a constant motion of sales, but it's like people like go buy if they don't want to. Plus with the pandemic, I don't